Hey everybody, this is Six. This week we sat down with the brothers from Blackbeard Firestarter. Probably seen their ads all over IG. They have the Firestarter that just lights if you breathe on it. This week we're covering what it means to be a dad, what kind of products they're about to come out with, and generally what they've been up to. So let's get into it.
I saw that you guys moved out, like actually, making everything out of the apartment. So what are you doing now? At least that's what you said on the post, right?
Yeah.
So no longer carrying like 500 pounds up 3 flights of stairs.
No,
Your FedEx guy thanks you.
no more. Those days are long behind us. It was good though. It built a lot of character. Yeah, and shoulders. Yeah,
It proved that you want it, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, every time I'd like take a carload over, I'm like, man, how much? I'd say that exactly. Like, how much do you really want it? How much you want it? So,
awesome.
But yeah, no. Now we've got a
want it.
1,000 square foot warehouse that we've got.
No way.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's going really well for us. It's starting to get packed in there though. So it's really packed. But I mean, we're just gonna ride it, until we're busting out the seams even more, and then
awesome, man. That's so cool
place.
to hear.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been good.
Hell yeah.
That's really
so
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah,
are you able to produce everything like in that space as well?
Yeah, it's plenty of space for us. So we got like the shelving, the industrial shelving. And so we go all the way up to the ceiling with it.
Like 20 feet, yeah.
Yeah, boxes all the way up and down. So we've got quite a few racks of shelving. We go up as high as we can. Yeah, offers us just enough space. We should probably get a bigger place, but at the it's low overhead. Does what it needs to do. Time and time we have like boxes shipments. Like when we get a full shipment in, it gets a little packed, but at the same time, we're making it work. So. That's good.
That's what's important.
I almost don't even want to speak this into existence. I would never wish this on you guys, obviously, but if that thing ever goes up,
don't say it.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Have you ever seen like
it's like
a pallet
walking in a
factory?
restaurant and screaming Jewish lightning?
Seen what?
Have seen like a pallet factory?
No, can't say I haven't.
Like the shipment pallets?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like acres of.
Oh yeah, yep.
Wild.
Downtown Salt Lake, there's tons of pallet yards. I've never seen like a warehouse, but they just have them in just random lots, and yeah, they're stacked like 30 feet high,
wild.
and they just go forever. Crazy,
man. So, well, what you said that you made the show notes, right? What were you going to ask them?
That is not the conversation we had.
I'm so sorry, guys. Right before we got you guys in the call, I was talking. I was like, I was just so excited to talk to him again. I didn't even think of like structuring the conversation. I'm sorry about that.
No, you guys are good, man. You guys are good. And
can we talk about you fighting?
Yeah, dude. Sure. Yeah. And by the way, the other thing too is like, obviously, you guys know, like, we're not the most articulate guys, like, talking live. I mean, if we're to write it down and, like, put it in an ad, sure, we can do it. But, like, live, like, man, tripping all over ourselves.
It is a little different.
You guys have no idea how much B-roll we have.
Oh, yeah?
Holy crap.
It's painful.
Yeah.
It comes out good, but it's painful.
Yeah. So, like, that's we're not really used to this either. But, yeah, the fighting stuff, so that's actually our employee that's doing that. So AKA our younger brother. He's in the warehouse.
In a post of his that y'all were connected. I just didn't know where that fit in.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if that was like we didn't want to talk about that or like keep that private or
no, not at all. Yeah, we just So whenever we post about them, we always we try to relate it, just say like, Blackbeard's very own, just so it's relatable, just so everyone's like,
right,
why are these guys like randomly posting fight stuff? You know what I mean? Just to tie it in.
But at the same time, we always try and keep it leave him be his own man. So you'll never see us say like our baby brother or our brother. You know what I mean? Like our little brother. You know. So we kind of want to let him do his own thing and have his own space to grow and build his own career, which is what he's been doing pretty well so far. So we're super proud of him.
That's awesome.
He's grown to that point where he can do this up, so we can.
He's well past that.
He's well past that. He's something else. It's a lot of fun watching him grow too, because not only is he like growing in his fighting game, but that also comes with the emotional, mental composure that he's gained. Mm-hmm. He's so far ahead of either of us when we were that age, which is so cool to see.
Mm-hmm. It really tempers you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Cool to see.
Yeah. Nothing makes you grow up more than getting punched in the face the first time.
Oh, it's rough. The funny thing is, like, a lot of time, not so much now, just because we've learned, we've been taught some lessons, but we'd always tell him, like, dude, okay, next fight, you don't want to do that. You want to do this, and give him tips and pointers. Mm-hmm. And he's always like, oh yeah. And there's one time on Thanksgiving, I don't know how it is in Texas and Florida where you guys are at, but here in Utah on Thanksgiving, everyone plays. It's called the Turkey Bowl. Everyone goes out and plays football on Thanksgiving morning. Yeah. Oh, so you guys do the same. Okay, cool. Yeah. So this was the first year. Like, we come from a huge football family. All of us played we started when we were 8, Little League, all the way up until high school. My dad was a football coach for a while, Little League and a high school coach. So like football is like, that's our thing. Unfortunately, none of us made it D1, but that's besides the point. But anyways, so Thanksgiving comes around and this is the first year we never played Turkey Bowl. Long story short, actually got a fight. He took a fight short notice. And so we all went to his gym and trained with him. Anyways, he picked us up on the car ride there. We were telling him like, hey, like, fighting, bro, it's just like football. You want to do this. You want to come like it's like on a kickoff. That you have butterflies until you make that first hit. Then it all goes away. And also, you don't want to do this because then we were full of advice. And he's just driving. He's like, oh yeah. And then we started. We got to his gym. We started getting into like warming up and stuff like that. And we had one other guy with us, who was training with us, and how it was going is you work. It was basically like 1-on-1. Sorry. So we had 4 of us total, and we just rotate through each other. So everyone's go around the next, go around next. Anyways, long story short, like when we were fighting the other guy, like it was good training. Like it was actually even. It wasn't too heavy paced or anything like that. But when I had to fight Kawhi or Kamal, he had to fight Kawhi, man, he was piecing us up. So basically that was his way of saying like, oh, you want to tell me what to do? Okay, here. How's that working for you?
That's messed up.
Yeah. So he like, awesome. We were getting pieced up all day long Thanksgiving morning. So
we should have played Turkey Bowl instead.
Should have.
Been less beat up.
Should have.
Oh man, that's exactly how I thought it was going to go too when you started the story. I'm like, oh, they're going to get their freaking butts kicked.
Yeah, and that's like, dude, sometimes I can't help myself just because like that is my younger brother at the end of the day, and I'm just like, man, I want the best for him, and what I see as the best for him isn't necessarily the right way because I'm not a I'm not a coach, I'm not a fighter, you know what I mean? Right. So like I'm like always trying to tell him what's the best for him, me just trying to be the older brother, but sometimes it's not. But yeah, whenever I get that way, he's very quick to remind me, yeah, let's see if that works. Let's try that. So I get humbled quick. But no, he's actually doing really good right now. He's defending. So in December, he won the belt for 135-pound championship, and so he'll be defending that title here in March. So about
cool.
About a month from now, March 16th is when he'll be defending it. So. Awesome. So yeah, he's number 1 ranked in Utah, and in the Western United States, I want to say he's like 13th in all of the Western United States. So
good for him.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's fighting at what? I'm trying to remember. It's been a hot minute since I really paid attention to MMA. It's what? It's not welterweight. It was what? Bantamweight. He's fighting.
Yeah. Yep. 135 pounds. Yep. Okay. Bantamweight. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Beat me. I was going to say welterweight. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
It's been a minute.
yeah, so he started off at 155 and then he went down to 145. And I think he's finally found his sweet spot at 135 because the guys that he was
Golly.
fighting, like just they made him look tiny at 155 and 145 because there's weight cutting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So and everyone, if you want to be competitive, you gotta cut weight. So I think 135 is a good weight for him to fight at, and he really doesn't have to cut that much to get to 135. So
Well,
it's a
everybody
good,
wears their
Cool.
weight differently.
yeah, for
You
sure,
know, it's just that changes so much.
for sure.
Like
Yep.
my old man, he's old German, but he's built like a triangle. You know, like his arms have been as big as my head since I can remember. He doesn't work out. That's just him.
Yeah,
It's obnoxious. And then my wife's granddad, Pawpaw, he's the first man I've ever had to like look up at.
oh dang,
Like it's like goodness, man. Like
Dude,
your body doesn't make sense.
your kid's got some good genetics coming, bro.
Oh, dude, my 2-year-old, he hasn't been able to see his toe since the day he was born. I'm really worried about it. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm really worried about it because he just like, and everyone keeps saying, oh man, he'll get like, no, like that's just his body type. Like, and he just bebops around. And I'm really worried about it because he can comfortably wear 5T.
Oh
And
dang.
I call him a 2 year. He's not even 2 yet. He'll be 2 in March. Like,
God.
Dang,
dude,
that's some good genetics right there. I'm jealous of him.
yeah, I'm like, and my wife's like, why do you? And I'm like, I have to roughhouse with them every day.
Yeah.
Because if at any moment, like when they get older, they think they can beat me, they'll be able to. Like, these are going to be big kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, I don't know
was
because you'll have
with my
that
4-year-old.
you'll have that man strength that they won't have.
Yeah,
when
the
they're
old man
teenagers.
shit. That's what I hope, man. Because like my 4-year-old, like we were play fighting, and like I missed one, I let one in, and he cracked. I was like, "Whoa, you're 4! Like, what the hell, man?
Play
Like,
fighting.
where did that come from?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna be trouble."
Dang, that's
Like,
awesome.
This isn't good. I need to get you to a gym. Like, I
Yeah,
need to put you in somewhere.
that's awesome.
God.
Oh, it's fun, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're hoping for land in the next 5 years. So I'm just like, man, we'll start our farm. Like,
Oh
get
yeah.
these kids strong.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Can't
do
wait,
it.
man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, get them signed up for wrestling, boxing,
That's what
football.
I'm saying. I'm gonna try. Whatever sport they want to do, I want them to do a sport. But like, if they don't want to do a sport, they don't have to. I want them to try a bunch of things. But absolutely, they're gonna do fighting.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion. Like that's just going to be, sorry. Like that's what we do in the house. So they're going to do that. And then like, I want to get into like 4-H, like working with animals. Cause it's not just animals, they have like, different skills, different, different trades that they can do. So there's just so much that's available to kids that I'm just like, man, you guys are going to do everything.
Yeah.
Like me and my wife are learning our respective second languages with Duolingo. Then I have ladies at work that I talk to. So I'm trying to learn Spanish. So I do Duolingo every day. Then I have ladies at work who are bilingual and I'm working with them. So it's like, man, I'm just trying to, they're sponges. I'm just trying to pour into them.
Yeah. So you're teaching them Spanish right now?
I'm trying to do it.
You're teaching them Spanish right now?
Trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
wow.
So I'll mix in, just, easy, simple things like phrases, words, numbers, just mix it in like as I talk to them. Because that's the best way. So I have several parents at my clinic because I work in peds, but several parents in my clinic who are bilingual, like they'll only do their native tongue. They'll only speak Spanish at home, and so the kids speak Spanish at home. But then everything else that they do, whether that's school or sports or anything else, is in English. So they're already learning 2 languages, and by the time they're 5, they're fluent.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'd kill for it, man.
Oh yeah, like it's like a whole new world is opened up to you once you get that. It's crazy.
We actually just recorded an episode on that on language acquisition.
Okay.
And why that's so important, kind of how you can dig into that. But like you said, a whole new world. I mean, just imagine being able to speak to a whole other continent.
Yeah.
Really at least basics. It's huge. Just on an interpersonal level, it's wild.
Yeah. And if there's a language to learn right now in America, it's Spanish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I live in Texas. You can't live in Texas without at least knowing a little bit of Spanish. Like, you're doing a disservice to yourself.
Yeah,
same.
It's crazy.
Same.
Yeah. You're in South Florida, right? 6 Central Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would.
Yeah. There's a lot of Dominicans, Costa Ricans,
Cubans.
Yeah. Mexicans. It's all pretty much the entire like Hispanic community descends on Florida and Texas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I'm definitely going to be trying to teach my daughter whenever she gets born.
So give her time. Lord,
like, we're a little less than 5 weeks out.
Oh, wow.
I think I'll start her on day 2.
Dude, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys are sitting there talking about how tall it's kids, and I'm just like, yeah, the last time we were at the OB and they did the freaking little sonar thing. Holy crap, dude. Her arm length is like 98 percentile. Her leg length is like 96 percentile.
Wow.
And she's going to be 6 foot.
Oh, dang. That's awesome.
I'm scared.
How tall are you?
6'1".
Okay. What about your wife?
My wife's 5'9".
That's pretty for
5'10".
For a woman. That's pretty tall, though.
That's pretty tall. Yeah. So the height is in the genetics for sure. It's like her dad's like 6 foot. My dad was, I think, about 6 foot. So.
Oh, wow. Right on.
Ours have some tall kids.
Yeah. Dude, is this going to be your first?
It is.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Really excited.
Finally.
Thank you. Yeah, finally.
Well, welcome to parenthood, brother.
Yeah, right. It only took me 37 years of life, but here we are.
He almost deserves it.
Almost.
There's honestly nothing better, though. I mean,
I was going to say, yeah. Like, actually, me and my wife were talking about that. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just trying to imagine life before having kids. It's almost unimaginable.
Yeah.
You know, you're fundamentally different.
Yeah.
You know,
and just like, it's so crazy how, like, just the smallest thing, like, they just want time, you know, that's all they want. They just want your time and attention, you know, and at the end of the day, like, that's what you're put on this earth to do is, you know, raise these kids, become, you know, good men and women, and, you know, just, I don't know, just teach them everything, you know. It's pretty interesting. It's like a pretty cool responsibility when you think about it.
Oh my gosh. It's the best.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a wonderful gift.
Yeah.
You know,
it is. Do you guys have any kids? I don't think we've ever asked that.
Yeah. So I've got 4 girls, all girls. Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude, I know. That's what
I'm going to pray for you, man.
But I
thought I was swimming in the estrogen ocean. Jeez.
Well, I always tell people, I have so much testosterone that I need, like, God sent me girls to like balance it. You know what I mean?
It's got to be balanced.
Because my testosterone was like through the roof.
Yeah, it's got to balance out, you know.
But honestly, like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't have it any other way. My 4 girls, like, they'll follow me to hell and back, you know. So I wouldn't have it any other way. And then so I guess it's just in the family.
Awesome.
And then they're about to have another one.
Yeah, I've got 2 boys, but like, that's the cool thing about being a girl dad is just knowing that you're modeling that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're modeling what a man should be. That's the coolest freaking thing ever. Like, I'm doing it too as, you know, with my boys, but like, that's a completely different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's so cool.
It's very different. 6, some advice before your kid comes. Delete everything on your phone because you're going to need all the space you can get. Your camera roll is going to be through the roof, just full of videos and pictures, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. I don't even know how much space I've even got on here anymore.
Well, it's about to be gone either way.
Yeah, you might want to upgrade that.
Gone. I need a new phone anyway. Might as well.
You're going to have to get the one with like 250 gigs.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It gets wild.
Don't skimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never skimp. What's the SD card? Oh, yeah, I've got like 128 gigs total, and it's 92% taken up.
You don't understand, man. It's going to be like, oh, she sneezed, click, 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 click. Like,
yeah, everything. That's exactly. It's not just one picture. It's click, 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 click. Yep.
Oh man.
And then you're gonna.
And then once she figures out how to use it, it's all over.
Drive.
Yeah, and then once you go to delete the one, it's like, oh, I've got 5 pictures of her sneezing. You're like, oh, but this one's cute. Okay, the next one's cute. Okay, all of them are cute. I'm not going to delete any of them from one sneeze. So
I'll just start throwing them all on like my Google Drive and just huge all compilation.
Just make a Costco run every month and just get books. books and books of printouts.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, Walgreens does that too. That's the best part.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. That's awesome. That's super awesome.
Thank you. I'm excited and scared at the same time because I didn't have, dude, growing up, full transparency, I did not have a great dad. He was not around. So I don't exactly have the best model of how to be a dad. I have the great model of how not to be the dad.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. Is just like, what did my old man not do? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do then. And what did he do? Okay, I'm gonna do the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so interesting about life is that all of us, you know, whether we had a good dad, bad dad, no dad, whatever dad, you know, we get to choose for ourselves like how we want to raise our parents, you know. I mean, sorry, how we want to raise our kids, excuse me.
Creates kids, yeah.
So
no, I get you.
It's like it makes it cool because at the end of the day, it's all up to you. Like no one else.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's all up to you, which is I don't know.
Absolutely.
The way it's set up too, it's so crazy. It's like my oldest one is about 9 right now. And so like obviously you have your kids when you're younger, you know, because it takes a lot of energy. I mean, you know, 7, like, you know, changing diapers in the middle of the night or feeding them or, you know, it takes a lot of energy. Yeah. But, you know, you're gaining like life experience as it goes on. Then when they're teenagers, you don't necessarily have to take care of them the way you did. You don't have to do everything for them like when they were babies, but then it becomes more of a mental game. So when you're younger and you have kids, it's all physical, you know, very little mental. But then when they get bigger and they start like questioning you, like, oh, why do we do this? Why do we have to do that? You know, and that's when it becomes like a mental game. Like, okay, you want to do this, you know, because you'll get this outcome. You don't want to do this because you'll get this outcome, you know?
Well, you're transitioning to a mentorship role.
Yeah. Right? So it's almost like, well, not almost like, but it's like it was meant to be, you know, you're young, you have kids, you get all this learning experience, life experience. And then when you're older and ready to use that life experience, it's ready for your kids to, you know, use it on your kids. It's pretty cool.
100%.
And that's actually what I'm going to be using this podcast for. You know, it's just a compilation of knowledge and like guidance, essentially, not just for like her, but also for myself, you know, like just to remind myself in case I forget something. Cause I mean, God only knows as many TBIs as I've had over the years. It's just like, this is how you're supposed to do things. And if you forget, well, I'm just going to go back and listen to this episode and just try again, you know, because I owe it to her. I owe it to myself and I owe it to my wife. And, you know, God willing, if I have another one, then I'm going to owe it to her too.
Yeah.
Just do things the right way.
And that's our job, right? So our job every day, you know, like we punch that clock every day. Every day is new, right? Every day we're trying to be better men, better husbands, and better fathers. Every single day, regardless of how yesterday was, regardless of how we think today's going to go. You know, we're always trying to do better because, man, they see everything. And that's your legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, and like you said, man, whether our dads did a good job or a bad job, we've learned something. Right.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's not in our power to change what happened in the past, what, you know, how we were raised or, you know, what that looked like, but it is in our power to decide what that's going to look like for our kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and something that you said as well, brother, just, you know, wanting to, you know, spend time with them. Something that I shared in a earlier episode, but I don't remember where I heard it, but, it was this new dad and he's like, and he had a toddler, right? Go figure. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make him happy because we'll go to this toy and like he won't even play with like I'll you know figure it out and then he'll want me take me to the next thing. Then we'll go to the bath and we'll fool around that. Then we'll go outside and it's like he you know nothing makes him happy. And his wife looked at me and said, "Honey, you're the toy." He doesn't care about the toys. He's playing with you.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, yeah, you're the toy. You know, your kid wants to spend time with you.
Yeah.
You know, go to Luke Combs' song, "I'll Take You With Me."
Yeah. I mean, that's
what every kid wants to hear.
That's what it comes down to, right? It doesn't matter how big of a house you have, what kind of car you drive. At the end of the day, as long as you have your family, like that's really all that matters, you know?
Yeah.
Agreed.
1,000%. So my 4-year-old, he looks exactly like me. He's his mother.
Does he have a beard?
You know, he will, but he just looks like exactly like he's his mother, 1,000%. Like, absolutely, he's like a carbon copy personality wise. It's absolutely hysterical. But my 2-year-old, like, he's my Velcro baby. He's like, as soon as he sees me, like, he wants up. He wants to be like, whatever I'm doing, he's right there. And at night, I got to leave for work at 6:30, so I get up at 4:45, 5 o'clock. He's going through a sleep regression right now, so he's up at 3:30, and he doesn't want mom.
Yeah,
he wants me.
That's so
I'm
awesome.
just like eyes half open, like going over there, and he's crying as soon as he sees me. Oh,
yeah,
he's happy. It's just like, man, yeah, this sucks. This is hard. I'm walking into walls trying to get to his room because I'm like still half asleep trying to shake it off. But, like, I'm never going to get this again.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's worth it to me.
Yeah.
So just I want to be, and the fact is, I'm not that, man every day, but I want to be the kind of man. The man I want to be is going to get up every single time to spend time with his kid and be with his kid every single time. I want to be the dad that says yes. And so, something that we really harped on in the beginning when we were talking about just, like in our mental health episodes and, everything, you make up the man you want to be, fake it till you make it. If you don't have a role model, imagine what you would want your kids to emulate. So if you're a boy dad, what you want your boy to grow into. If you're a girl dad, what, you want your girl to emulate and like to marry someday. Right. That's what it boils down to. So if you're not doing what you imagine that man is doing, change that. That's completely within your power. So just those little things, then that's a prayer for every day. Lord, make me a better, make me a better man, make me a better husband, better father, because I am new every day. And, there's always room for growth. And that's such a empowering thing, that you're not done.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Seven from the Hard Times Strongmen podcast here to bring a quick word from our newest sponsor, Blackbeard Fire Starters. We first saw Blackbeard Fire Starter a few years ago, and after seeing what the product can do, it's been our kit ever since. Their fire starter rope and their fire plugs are windproof, waterproof, dummy proof. They have an insane burn time, and like anything else that they offer, it just works. Besides their fire starters, they offer an arc lighter, ferro rod, stormproof matches, basically anything that you need to get a fire started. To better equip you, we cherry-picked their inventory and made our Hard Time Strongman Fire Kit. Basically, our essentials kit for anything that you can need to get a fire started. But besides that, they're offering 10% off anything in their store when you use the code STRONGMEN. We love the guys at Blackbeard Firestarter. We love what they're doing. We trust them and we trust their products. And we honestly can't recommend them enough. Make sure to check them out online at blackbeardfire.com or on Instagram at blackbeardfire. Huge shout out to the guys at Blackbeard Fire for working with us and for bringing the fire.
Hey everybody, this is 6 and 7 with the Hard Time Strongman podcast. We are coming to talk to you about our Patreon and Discord.
Hey guys, our patrons get early access to all of our episodes. They get all of our exclusive pre and post shows, all of our spicy takes, all of our rabbit holes that we go on, everything that we want to include in an episode, but we can't because we need to stay on topic. And soon enough, we will be offering digital downloads, guides, everything that we've been working on in the background will soon be available to our patrons. So make sure to check it out.
And come hang out with us on Discord. Speaking of the spicy stuff, this is where we discuss most of it. Once you're there, you'll get access to all of our in-depth discussions, including stuff like homesteading, fieldcraft, medical, camping, communications, shooting. You like ARs? Come talk to us about it. You like 4x4 vehicles and prepping? Come talk to us about it.
You like tannerite, thermite, napalm? Come talk to us about it. All of the campfire talks that would get us kicked off of other platforms, it's right there in our Discord. Come join our community.
We're active on Discord every day. We're interacting with members constantly. We have guys from every walks of life coming to contribute their expertise to all of these various fields and subjects that we've been talking about.
Come join the Discord. Come join the Discord. Join our community. Build up that better class of man. Now back to the episode.
What I find interesting is whenever I'm out and about with my two girls, I always see older couples looking at us and just smiling, and every now and then they'll say, enjoy it while it lasts. And like in the moment, in the moment of the day when you're in the grocery store and they're touching everything and you're just like trying to keep your cool, it's so hard. But I often try to revert back to that because, old people are smiling at you because they've been through that and they either miss it or they remember those times in their lives where, just like you said before, we'll never get this time back. It's now or never, So enjoy every single second of it. It's crazy to think that one day, I'm not going to walk in the door and my kids aren't going to be excited to see me. Like that's it's heartbreaking to think about. I get that's what happens with age, with growth, but I just can't imagine it so far as of right now. Painful.
Yeah.
Well, it's like but at the end of the day though, it's only 18 years and that because 18 that's when they start, they become an adult, they go off to college, they whatever, move out of the house, and so but even before that, like just saying, it might be when I don't know when that age is. My kids aren't old enough yet, but it might be 12, it might be 14, it might be 16, where mom and dad, I don't want to hang out with mom and dad, I don't want to hang out, go be with the rest of the world. But man, yeah, I always think about that too. Like, man, I just got to enjoy this because, like, right now, man, this is so, like, in my kids' eyes, and I'm sure in your son's eyes, Evan, like, man, you're just like you're the hero, you're the man,
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing.
It's precious. It's so precious.
Yeah, what a blessing God gave us that we get to have His children and raise them, because they're their own people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Granted, they might be your sons or our daughters, or Six's daughter, but at the end of the day, they're their own person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God has blessed us with the opportunity to, raise them, take care of them, teach them, what we know. And it's pretty amazing.
100%, man. And I've thought about that too, is just, this is just another gift to us. Right. And, we know, God to be our Father, and, you don't know, you can't understand what that means as deeply as you can if you are in it.
Yes.
So
100%.
I say it time and time again, you don't really know something unless you teach it. You're not going to learn as well unless you teach somebody something. So it's like being a parent gives you that perspective. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so rich and so full and so, much more than just me.
Yeah.
So that's just, the way that your heart can widen, with one child. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine having another one. And then you do. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine, just like, your heart just swells. And it's like, oh man, like the depth of a person that I am after my boys, there's no comparison to before.
Yeah.
It's, a completely different man.
Yeah.
So it's wild. It's just such a blessing and such a, it's so impactful. Across the board, you're completely unrecognizable, and I wouldn't want to be. If I acted the same, I did the same thing as when before I had kids, I would have failed as a father. So it's just yeah. It's awesome.
Pretty humbling thinking about it.
Yeah. Very humbling. But then, all these other experiences, while you're being a father, right? But then also you still have your own life going on. You're still, you're still dating your wife. You're still courting your wife. You're still, the man, right? But then also, in your career. So like you guys run Blackbeard Firestars. You guys recently had a pretty expansive growth. And so you're learning not only in how to, steward your family, but how to steward, a business and that responsibility. And you're able to, take that, compartmentalize that and then apply that to your kids. And just, the wealth of your knowledge, just grows all the time. It's just, I really want people to, to wrap their heads around that nothing is wasted. Every little thing, every little experience, every little trial, it can be used. It tempers you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think a lot of the times we disconnect business from family and family from business and life experiences and whatnot. But then at the same time, everything is so interconnected. Like there are literally laws that govern us in this life that apply all across the board. No matter where we apply this law, it's going to give us the same result and the same effect. Whether that's with our family or in business. So it's like one thing that's awesome to see. The more and more that we branch out and apply more of these laws, more of these thought processes and whatnot, the more and more we realize how much it applies to our family. It's like, okay, you want something out there in the world? First, think about it, ask for it. What are you going to sacrifice for it? And then go get it. It's all yours. Take it, whatever it is, and how much that applies to each and every individual's life.
Seven was saying something interesting that he was basically, to your point, you're saying like nothing's wasted, even though sometimes you might feel like you're stuck or something. As far as like life and business goes, if ever like you said, everything's preparing you. So for example, like we wouldn't be where we're at today if we didn't go through the earlier lessons in life. That me probably when I was going through, I'm like, man, this sucks. Like this is useless. I'm just wasting time here. But at the same time, during that time, I learned lessons that came into play later. Like it was basically preparing me to be able to receive something. You know what I mean? Like, like if we were just two regular guys, blue collar guys like we used to be, and someone were just to hand us Blackbeard at its present state and said, "Hey, here's a business. I want you guys to take this over." Like it would be awesome. It'd be sweet, But Blackbeard would probably be no more in, I would say, less than a month because at that, like if we were just given it, we wouldn't know how to run it. We don't have these life lessons, all these things. We don't have all these business lessons. We wouldn't know how to take care of it, So it's like we
wouldn't have the appreciation of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just just everything. So if we just got something for free, like we wouldn't know how to, like it would kind of like that whole, teach a man to fish versus giving a man a fish,
Right.
That whole principle. So it's like, you got to go through these things and it's not always going to be, what do they call it? Rainbows and gumdrops. It's not always going to be like that.
Rainbows, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to think that, like you said, every trial, it's, you wouldn't have been ready, right? It's equipping you.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. There's sometimes you just got to walk through the storm. Like your lesson is in the storm and the only way to learn it is go walk through it. So, I mean, 100%. Me and have made tons of expensive mistakes along the way. It's been painful, but we've learned. So,
and you're still here.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and that for me has been something that's really, really cool to see. Not only what you get. Obviously, we love the product, right? We've used it for years, but the fact that you guys are still here, the persistence, the like, hey, we're not going away, like that has such a huge impact in whatever sector and whatever, business you're in. Just like, yep, we're still here. We are still satisfying customers. We're still growing. We're still doing it. We're still perfecting our craft. That means something, in an age where you can, pick up your phone and start a business on your phone in, an hour, when you've, gone through the ringer, when you've been in the arena and come back out and gone back in, willing to put yourself out there again and again and again, even when you fail, even when you make a stupid mistake, and just to, what are you going to do? Like, yep. I'm still here. It's not like I can quit now. That means something to people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. There's something to be said about, just enduring and weathering stuff. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Be doing this your whole life, you never stop learning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I said at the beginning, I think in the pre-show, we were talking about how when we first started the podcast, it was like we were counting up to, oh man, if we can make it to 20 episodes. Because I don't remember where I read, but it was like a statistic said that 90% of podcasts that start end after 3 episodes, like they just fall off. And then of that 10%, 90% of that 10% fall off before they make it to 21 episodes.
Wow. So you guys basically 5x at 20 episodes. That's awesome. Dang, you guys chatted
so
that.
If you make it to, so if you make it to 21 episodes, you're the 10% of the 10%. And it's like, man, and then we look back, it's like, oh, wow, we're almost at 90 episodes. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That just like our perspective has just, blew up. And so that's been really cool to see.
Yeah. And I think that's like, there's something to be said for that too. Like, a lot of people nowadays don't really understand the grind. Like, it's like our world is so controlled by quick dopamine hits now that nobody wants to like stick around. So like you said, 3 episodes, that's not very many at all, in the long run term of things. That's barely any. But yeah, if people don't see instant success after 3 episodes, they're done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like the fact that like, I don't know, it's just like if you want something and you stick to it, you will eventually get it, no matter what. If you don't give up, you can't lose. You can't lose.
100%.
The only way you lose is by giving up. And I don't think a lot of people realize that because, we're so used to TikTok or Instagram or YouTube where, if I'm not getting my dopamine, next, give me my dopamine, So, and like businesses, podcasts, all that stuff, raising families, there's no instant gratification in it. You don't see the results of your labors until weeks, months, years, decades down the line,
Yep.
So it's like the things that really matter, your kids, businesses, like legacies, stuff like that, it takes decades to build. And you don't know if you're doing it right. I mean, you try your best and you know in your heart, what you're doing is right. But I mean, you don't know if you'll be successful, you just don't know. Or to what extent. So it's
especially with families, you're planting seeds for trees that you will never, rest under the shade of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like all of the, all the trials that we face, imagine all the trauma, all the negative stuff from when you were growing up. And you're like, I am not doing that with, my girls. I'm not doing that with my boy. I'm not doing that with my kids or my family. Right. So that stuff that gets etched on your heart that you're like, that's no, absolutely not a non-negotiable. And you live that out, you may not see how big of an impact that is. It feels better at the time knowing that you're working towards that, but you don't get to see that right away. Mm-hmm. But when your kids grow up and they don't have to worry about an abusive dad or a dad that's not there or, whatever, like that changes a kid.
Yeah.
And, when they're an adult and they can actually tell you just like, thank you, that wasn't our story, that, like you said, that's a legacy.
Yeah.
That's something worth fighting every day for 100%.
Yeah. And it's our job to do those things. Cause think about our ancestors. I mean, Seven, you said you're German, right? So at some point, one of your great I don't know how far back it goes, but they decided to, come over to America to make a better life for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and when he came over here, I can guarantee you he wasn't rich. I can guarantee you he was not living large. He was probably worse off than what he originally was in Germany. But like you said, he was planting seeds for a tree that he'd never get shade from. He was being a good ancestor, doing things. Okay, my life might suck, but guess what? My kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids, they'll have a better life because I made this sacrifice, which is huge, huge.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. I mean, I think now it's like, it's up to us. Like, okay, what can we do that's, I don't want to say equivalent, but what can we do to be, good ancestors to our, kids, grandkids, posterity, what changes can we make? What can we instill in them? That leaves a legacy upon the family, a good legacy upon the family.
Right. What can you sign your name on?
Right. Yep. Yep. And here, 2024, these things, they might be all mental and all physical. All mental and all spiritual. Our ancestors, they did the physical already, they left the country, starved, came here, worked hard, had nothing, it was all physical. But now, what we pass on to our kids, probably going to be mostly mental and spiritual. So, super interesting.
Yeah. I mean, and man, I'm not letting Six talk at all. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, man, I'm just here, do it.
But, like me and my wife's big dream is, we want to take our friends and, our family, we want to get a big old piece of land and, just start, fresh.
Yeah.
Just start fresh, build that community and, become more self-reliant. So that calls for me learning a lot of stuff that, the generations forgot.
Yeah.
So like you said, the mental stuff, it's like, okay, so in the midst of us, building up these cities and building up, this easier way of life, how, what did we forget along the way? What do we need to remember for when times are hard again? Because they are coming. So like, how can I best prepare my family? What do I have to do, to do that? So, what am I modeling for that? Am I physically fit? Am I, right with the Lord? Am I spiritually, mentally there? Am I engaging, my mind and my wife and my kids in a meaningful way? Or am I just droning on my phone and going to work and thinking that the bare minimum's okay? Because it's not.
Right.
Talking about being a lifelong learner and, especially like working the land, animal husbandry, all these things that, that have been forgotten or been discarded. We need to, get back to that because there is a better way to live. It's just that people aren't doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So, not that you have to go out and start everybody should go out and start a homestead, but, like making this available, because this is the kind of generational stuff that's going to last. Yeah, I agree. They should. But, like that, talking about stuff that'll last, like putting those tools in your kids' hands, putting those experiences in your kids' hands and showing that there's a better way than, what we've grown to, be disgusted at. So it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I love what you said about the bare minimum because like it's almost preached to us through everything that the bare minimum is what we should be doing and just relaxing for the rest of our time. Go on, put in your hours at work, make your paycheck, and then come home and do the bare minimum. You deserve it, and how that's just constantly we're getting bombarded by that messaging, but it's like, that's the messaging that's going to put us in a place that we don't want to be. That's the messaging that's going to create that hard time for everyone and not allow us to flourish. And I feel like be who we're meant to be, independent, outgoing, do those things that we need to do, that we should be doing for our future kids, for our aunts, for our, future generations, the things that our ancestors did that they didn't want to do. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Learning multiple languages. It's not fun putting in that extra time learning how to garden and grow all of your own stuff. But at the same time, I feel like that's as individuals and as people, that's what's required of us. And that's what we should be doing in a sense to create that future.
100%.
Like what you guys said earlier was, your kids are sponges. So they're looking to you as to what they're supposed to be doing, what they should grow up doing. And if you're doing the bare minimum, they're going to learn that. Yeah. They're going to absorb that, and they're going to do that from an early age. I mean, hell, if you started off doing all like just working hard and then you just eventually just kind of go down to the bare minimum, if they start at the bare minimum, they're going to do that same thing and it's going to be worse. So we can't teach them that.
Yeah.
We can't show them that. It's got to be 100% day in, day out. And yes, it's a grind. Yes, it's going to suck, but we owe that to our kids.
Yeah. And so this is one thing that you'll see too, Six, like however you raise your kids, that's how they'll turn out,
Mm-hmm.
If you
get what you put in.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And you will see this like over and over again once you have your own kid and you see them like interact with other people, and you'll see like how they interact with other kids. Some kids, if they're just little like brats, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not their fault because, that's all they've been taught. But it's like you can see exactly if people are doing the bare minimum, if they're not, being good men, raising their kids right. You can see it manifested in the kids. I mean, what do they always say? If you want to judge a man's character, look at his kids. That's how you can judge him, That's how you know if he's a good guy or not, because his kid, they're imitating him. They look up to him. They follow him,
Right.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
Well, and it's so essential to take you cannot be passive. You have to take an active role, in your kids. You said something really interesting about, our current culture, right? So what does the media portray as the typical family man? He's fat, he's lazy, he swears, he's passive, and he's unsupportive. He's not, he's just generally unhappy. He's just happy to go to work, come home, and then sit on, his phone on the couch, or, drink a beer and watch a game while the whole world's going on around him.
The Homer Simpson, right? Yeah. So there's
exactly.
Yeah. It's funny you mention that, because there's not, I don't think any of us here or anyone period can name one TV show that has a dad that's the opposite. That's a real man, Yeah. I don't think there's one TV show. I don't think there's one.
Yeah, I mean, show me one show where the dad gets up an hour before his family, does his chores, works out, goes to work, engages, and then comes home and engages with the family 100%, and and then does extra after the kids go to bed to push towards that better life. Because your work, that's the day to day, man. That's to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
What you do afterwards, that's what grows your family.
It's life.
Yeah.
That's what gets you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
But, like you said, show me one. You can't, because that's not what they want.
But the propaganda is
it's all
super
agenda,
strong.
man. It sucks. But, that's why it's so important to, to manifest that yourself, to, who you surround yourself with is who you're going to emulate. Right. And like you said, your kids are a reflection of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, they see everything, they know everything, they do everything, it's, it's so funny. So like my 4-year-old, right? So I was infantry, and, then I had a young family. And so one of my convictions was, I'm not going to swear in front of my wife. I'm not going to swear in front of my boys. I'm just not going to do that. That's not a thing for me. And so
it's not.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you should feel bad.
Okay.
But that's just not a thing for me. So like whenever I got hurt, as my 4-year-old, is growing up, he sees me. All right.
Just taking it in.
Yeah. And then I go on my way. Dude, my he ate it one day hard, just like running, and then bam, won't run anymore. And he got me. And he ran off and played. I was like, oh no. So not only does he see everything, but that sucker just ate that and then just kept, like, that hurt me. And he just kept going. I was like, oh man, it's like this is a good thing, but this almost isn't. Like, I'm a little worried about that.
No, that's awesome. See, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like spiritually and mentally, you have to set the example,
Mm-hmm.
Because the propaganda is so strong right now. It's so strong, the propaganda. Yeah. So it's like, that's why, like, when we originally came across you guys, Hard Time Strong Man, like, I was like, dang, like, I couldn't think of a better name for like a podcast or a company.
It's like cool name.
Hard Time Strong Men, that's what it creates. So like, as a dad, you always got to be like, on your toes, like keeping yourself hard, Yeah. Don't laugh. I mean, after I said that, I was thinking Six is going to make a joke, but you got
all the time.
But I'll bit my tongue.
Thank you, Six. But you don't
here for you.
Stay sharp. You got to, you can't do the bare minimum and just go where the wind blows. You have to try every day, to stay on top of everything and be a strong man and fight all the propaganda, because we're just flooded with propaganda everywhere we turn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it demonizes everything, right? So toxic masculinity, feminism, like all these things, right? So, when they attack toxic masculinity, they're attacking what men are supposed to be. Men are supposed to be strong. Yeah. Men are supposed to be dangerous. There's a difference between, being peaceful and harmless.
Yeah.
And, when you don't realize that, like, and that's another thing too with me is words. Words have meaning, right? When we forget that, when we let that go away, like it opens the door to so many problems. But yeah, men are supposed to be dangerous. That's in our blood. That's what we're supposed to be. That's our role. Right. So you think back, like you said, like when, say if we just got off the boat, right? Or, we were way back when, dudes would go to war for months and months and months, and mom was on the homestead. Okay. So like the 50s completely butchered, the traditional gender roles, right? But, women ran the household, not just cooking and cleaning, finances, teaching and, rearing your children, the garden, the animals, like everything. Because the guy was going over, he was doing hard stuff. And when he came home, he helped. It wasn't, oh, my job's done, I'm going to go kick my feet up, take the first bath. No, like it is 100% all the time, and, that's why it's so important to, when you pick your wife, your partner, you're picking a partner because, man, you're going to be in the trenches with them every day.
Yep.
100%.
And you need someone who's got your back.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's, interesting you mentioned that because, like, there's opposition in all things. There's light, there's dark, there's man, there's woman, there's hot, there's cold. Everything has an opposite. I don't know if you guys are familiar with George Orwell's book, 1984. But
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Very familiar. So in that book, when they have the language newspeak, right? And so what do they do with that language? They dumb down the language. So there's not good and bad anymore. There's good and there's ungood. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they try to taint it, when clearly there's opposites and, there's good, there's evil. God set it up that way. He set up that man, woman, he's everything, wet, dry, whatever it is.
Well, how important language is. I mean, we have the story of the Tower of Babel. I mean, like it is laid out for you. Like language is incredibly important. It's how we communicate. We are social creatures. That's how we're built. If you're not able to communicate and on equal footing, right? So if you don't have the same definitions for things, how are you supposed to get on equal ground?
Yeah. Yep. I always think about that. Good, ungood. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Don't try to put things in the same basket. They're clearly two opposite things.
It's scary. Like you said, dumb things down, but just like blur those lines just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that you can get away with more stuff.
Yep. It's insane. Mm-hmm. It's insane. All the more reason to be, a strong man.
Yeah. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. You guys are killing it, man. Love what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why we partner with that's why we're trying to build out this circle. You guys are like-minded. I think we have the same heart in this, and in other things. But we can agree that the world is not right. That's obvious, but we also realize that the responsibility lies with us. We cannot allow someone else to do the work or to handle it for us. It is not up to them. It is up to us to, be the change to fix what we see as wrong. It's when we, and in my opinion, it goes back to, I think the easiest sin for a man to commit is passivity.
Good one.
I think that's our most base, instinct, or the easiest one there is for us to fall into. But allowing someone else to take the weight, to make the decisions, to steer the boat, that's where the trouble always starts.
I mean, it's easy to do that though. Like it's human nature, easiest route possible, right?
Every day.
So it's like
every
hard.
Day.
Yeah, you got to like force yourself. Extreme accountability. You got to force yourself to do those things.
I love that word, accountability.
Yeah. Extreme accountability.
It's not comfortable to wake up before the sun does and to do a quick workout and to get a quiet time in where you're in the word, where you're meditating, where you're getting your mind and your heart and your body right before everyone else starts their day, so that you can direct your family where you want them to go, and to lead and to be that example. It's not comfortable. It doesn't feel good to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday or a Saturday. Yes, I want to sleep in until 8 o'clock, but I can't do that because I've got more important things to do.
Yep.
But I mean, that'd be nice. Do it.
Nice.
I agree with you 100%, except for Sundays. Sundays are my day of rest. I'll sleep until church starts, and then I'm up and good.
that is our one given day of rest. Yes.
True.
But honestly, on a, on kind of a funny note, I found that if I don't get my quiet time in before the boys get up, I am such a bad dad. And I was like, I am grumpy. I am just not fun to be around. Like I've gotten to the point to where I need that time in the morning before everyone else gets up just to get my head and my heart right. Otherwise, man, it just my day does not go well for me. And it's because it's so funny that I become dependent on that. But yeah, man, I mean, that's such a huge lifestyle change. And it's so great that I can equip myself like that. But yeah, if I miss it, it's miserable. It's absolutely miserable.
That's a good. How do you get yourself up? Do you set a couple alarms, or you just tell yourself at night before bed?
About 10. About 10. So I'm not the guy that can just be like, yep, I'm going to get up at 4:30 tomorrow and then just wake up. I have a buddy like that. It's infuriating. I can't stand him. He can just do that. But no, I've got one of the sunrise little alarm clocks next to my bed.
Oh, okay. So is it the hatch?
No, it's before that. But it's okay. In the internal clock, as the sun goes up, it'll progressively get lighter with warm light and nature sounds. So it just kind of gently coaxes you out of bed with your natural circadian rhythm. But then I also have my phone in my bathroom, a room away, so I have to get up and go to it to turn it off.
Oh, okay.
So, but I've got narcolepsy, so I mean that kind of it's a little harder. I gotta force it, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, but then I just we talked about this before. It's just making myself habits. I know that if I get up on time, then I have to do all my chores in the morning. So feed all the animals, do all the the compost, the dishes, the yada yada yada. But just kind of making these micro goals for myself. I really want to get into what's it called? To time blocking.
What's that?
I heard about that from Rising Father, the Rising Father podcast.
Oh, okay.
But he's a gentleman who does coaching for guys. So, but time blocking is he has just a spreadsheet and it's in 30-minute blocks, and he blocks out his day every single day.
Oh, wow.
And that's part of his quiet time in the morning. It's just going over his day, what his day is going to look like, and it just opens your day up. Just if I know that I'm going to do this, then, you schedule it. And, granted, life is life, and, you have kids and a family and everything. So it's not going to be perfect, but being able to, I kind of think of it like budgeting. So this month, the first of the month, or, the 31st of last month, I went over our family budget, and we do a zero-based budget. So whenever the paycheck comes in, there's, all these different folders that the money goes into, so that nothing slips through the cracks, and we just waste money. And it's a constantly evolving thing because life happens, and you have to change for that. But just that accountability of, I know where my time's going, I know where my money's going, and I get to spend it before life happens and it just disappears.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. I'm only human, so it works most of the time. But
I mean, as long as you got a plan and you're trying to do, trying to follow it, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, and with the budget, so we have an emergency fund that has, when it's fully funded, it has 6 months of, just everyday expenses. So if life happens, if I get laid off or I get sick or whatever, we have a 6-month buffer. But if I didn't do my due diligence and, fund that, then you're flying by the seat of your pants, man. And that's just not a fun way to live.
No.
But we just found every rabbit hole along the way. It's been a while since we talked to you guys on the show.
Good Lord,
but
yeah.
How's Blackbeard Firestarter going? I saw a great post from you guys today. You hit 50K on Instagram. You guys are growing, and you guys switch locations, and you're just continuing to just murder as an all-American business. So you want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great. It is in and out of the conversation that we've had of doing those things, doing those difficult things and trying to balance everything in one giant balancing act, right? So as far as like our business goals and whatnot, setting our goals physically for the business, mentally for the business, and then spiritually for the business, making sure we're hitting all aspects of what we're trying to do. So that makes it just so much easier to accomplish. Lately, it's been a lot of fun. We've been doing actually quite a bit of affiliate marketing, kind of branching out, connecting with new people, crossing different categories of who would normally be using our stuff. We've mainly focused on outdoors people, outdoorsmen, hunters, fishers, backpacking, hiking, whatnot. We've been crossing quite a few boundaries as far as just reaching someone who you might not have thought would be interested in it, but they've got a backyard. Everyone relies on fire at some point in their life or another, and in everyday use, but we just don't realize it. And so we're just connecting those different avenues and those different channels and audiences, which has been fun. It's been interesting. It's a whole completely different perspective on the impact that we're able to have.
That's awesome.
I feel.
What do you guys got coming out?
Oh man,
any new products?
Yeah,
Why do you dig to the bone, man? Like,
I'm looking at the board with all the stuff that we've got coming out. Gosh, it's. I don't know if it's too early. It might be too early right now to talk about it, but we've got at least 4 new things coming out that we are super excited for.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm telling you guys, man, this is our year where we just branch out and do new things and just try and make stuff happen, So,
awesome.
Yeah, when we do come out with this stuff, you guys are going to be one of the first people that get one to test out, whatever it is.
Heck yes.
So yeah, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sorry.
I love what you said, that everybody touches fire at least once. Because, like, I've met so many people who just like grew up and, spent 20 years in the city and like that's all they know. But it's such a human experience, I feel like. So it's really cool that you guys are branching out, getting those different perspectives. Because your business especially is something that can touch, everybody, I feel like.
Yeah, hopefully we can get it there sooner than later. Just, our goal is to become like a household name. So when someone thinks of fire, Blackbeard pops in the mind, kind of like a Ford or a Chevy when you'd say truck,
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get there soon. I don't know. We're pushing for it. We're working hard. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen your guys, in the last few months, definitely pushing all those affiliates and just, like I said, on the personal accounts, it's just you guys are, you're getting there. And like you said at the beginning of the episode, your perseverance, that's what's going to win the day.
Yep.
You guys aren't going away. So you will get there.
With your guys' help too. You guys have been a huge help in that, and especially, we've got that Hard Time Strong Men kit on our website.
Well, closing out this episode, guys, I want to also get some dad advice from you. So you are seasoned dads, and I am assuming that all of our listeners need a dad who knows something. So what do you got?
You want to start, Mike?
Well, I've only got 2. You've got 4. Why don't you start us off? You got way more experience.
What by number?
I would say my biggest advice would be just realize that this time will not last forever. So, when your kid, it's a lot of work taking care of kids. It's a lot of work teaching kids, it actually takes longer. It's more effort to teach them how to do things versus just you doing it for them. But at the end of the day, you've only got this, small amount. You've got this human being for only a couple of years where they're, just 100% yours, and you can teach them everything you know. So just give it your all, and you're not going to regret it. No one's ever regretted being a good parent and giving their all. Plenty of people have regretted not being a parent, not being there. No one has ever regretted giving their all for their kids. And when I say giving your all, I don't mean buying them stuff. I mean giving them knowledge, giving them, life lessons, giving them spiritual tools, mental tools, that kind of stuff. Example. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, is just don't take this time for granted, because your kids are with you for 18 years? It sure goes by quick, We're all older. We're all in our 30s. Man, 18 years flew by for all of us. And that's what's happening with our kids, but at a faster rate because we're their parents. So just try to take it day by day and just enjoy it, embrace it.
100%.
7, have you made it into your 30s yet?
Dude, you're going to ram me out like that?
Wait, are you 37? Are you in your 30s?
29.
Oh, 29. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's
my
the
bad.
beard. Very funny.
Freaking youngin'.
I feel 40, so it's whatever.
Lucky you. I feel 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I feel like, gosh, it's hard not to echo what you just said, because I feel like that's so important. Dad advice. A lot of the messaging in the world is take care of yourself, be selfish, do selfish things, build yourself, build your hobbies, and whatnot. I agree and I disagree. I disagree in ways that I think it's a twisted truth. I think there are options and things available where, when we put it into our kids, when we put all of our efforts, all of our energy, all of our time into our kids and help them become who they're meant to be, that is a hobby with the most intense and insane amount of joy that you could ever do. Far outweighing any football game you'll ever watch. Far outweighing any thing you can experience while golfing or playing video games or on the phone, on things that you're doing that may bring you a little bit of happiness, but don't give you that everlasting joy that your kids will always give you when you raise them correctly. I look up to my parents so much, in a thankful way for all that they've done, because I look around and I see that the experience that they gave me growing up is not a normal experience in a good way. Mm-hmm. Not a normal experience, meaning all of the time and the effort they put in to me, to my siblings, whether it's through coaching, whether it's through teaching us in the home, everything, the experience that we got is not common, whereas it should be more common. It should be, where our mother basically forgot herself and gave it all to us kids. Our father forgot himself and gave it all to work so he can provide for us kids, and that's not something that you see preached out in the world, and that's not something that is happening as often as it should be. And I think that's just because of the twisted truths out there. So dad advice being, give it all you have to your kids. Let them become your hobby. And there's no other joy that will even come close to feeling what you feel when you see that in your kids.
Or you could you can pick up new hobbies and include them, so it's like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You involve them in your hobbies.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I fully plan on involving my daughter in all the gardening and fire building with Blackbeard Firestarter. And
let's go.
Shooting. Yeah. As soon as she's big enough to hold a 22, she's shooting.
Oh, 100%. We make jokes all the time about like the 12-year-old from the 1800s, but it's not like they left their kids at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
They were there.
it was all hands on desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all hands on deck, man. I mean, and you took there was no just like, oh, throw the kids in front of the TV. Like you took your kids out and you did stuff.
Yep.
That's how they learned.
Yep.
That's just life.
Yep. Yep. And then to what Six was saying about taking kids shooting. I took my girls shooting this summer, and man, it was so much fun. Just because this is the first time I actually took them shooting, because my oldest is 9, my youngest is 1, so they're all spread out in there. So I haven't really had time to just take the oldest individually, because she's more than old enough to shoot. And, too, with Blackbeard just being so busy. But anyways, I had always taught them at home, like, okay, this is how you eject the magazine. This is the proper grip for the pistol, stuff like that. This is how you rack the slide. And, some of my kids aren't strong enough to rack it, which is fine. Anyways, long story short, I took them shooting for the first time this past summer, and it was like, man, I was the proudest guy ever, man. Just because my kids, they were holding the pistol right, and they just had, like, they were hitting, man. I was surprised. Like,
Awesome.
You know how hard it is to shoot pistols. It's not an easy thing. Even adults struggle with it. But my kids, like, they had the grip down. Now, granted, we were shooting like a little, what is it? It's a little Walther 22 pistol.
Mm-hmm.
But they were doing it. It was awesome. I was super proud, man. It was such a good day.
That's a cool core memory, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you got squirreled away.
One of these little ones?
Not that model. Yeah, what model is that? Is that the P22?
This is actually a high standard, the military model.
Oh, okay.
So it's very, very close to the Luger, the one the Germans made.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think, based off of that.
That's sick. That's sweet.
No, I love 22s.
Yeah, so and I mean, I can't wait, Six. I can't wait for you to experience the same thing. Especially being a girl. Like, I'm sure with you 7 your boys, it's got to be awesome, and it's got to be fulfilling. But there's just something about like a girl doing it. It's like, wow, this is what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And because the boys, they have natural tendencies. We have, like, boys have testosterone. They have, like, just natural mindsets. They're aggressive, want to do stuff. But when a girl, like, takes it on because, like, her dad taught her, it's like, man, I was in heaven that day, man.
It's that added level of confidence.
Yeah.
Because the boy just, like you said, intrinsically, most of the time, intrinsically, is just like, oh yeah, I want it, like, but girls shy away from that, typically, right? Mm-hmm. They shy away from that stuff. So to build up that confidence, like, oh no, you can do this, like, that's huge. It's awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So oh man, I'm excited for you guys, man. 6 and you 7 raising your 2 boys. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
They're amazing.
Yeah. No, this is a fun podcast. It's like, at the end of the day, like, we're just 2 regular guys, and at the end of the day, like, we're dads first, like, this is like, that's like the stuff that really, like, this is the stuff that really, like, that we care about. We don't care about, I mean, we do want to make money, but we don't, like, you're never going to see me or Mahi driving like a Lamborghini. Like, you'll never see that ever.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? Like, we're like, all, like, we care about hanging out with our families, and,
yeah.
So it's like, that's like a special thing for us to, come on. It's fun talking about your family and, like, getting advice from other dads and other men on, what to do. It's fun. It's fun sharing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun having you on, and, as you guys know, you're welcome anytime. Anytime you want to come on, just let us know and we'll have you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
We'll throw everything, as per normal. We'll throw all your links in the description and everything. But do you want to shout out real quick before we end the show?
Yeah, so everyone can find us on www.blackbeardfire.com. Also, if you use the code STRONGMEN at checkout, STRONGMEN, you will get 15% off your order. So yeah, check us out, blackbeardfire.com.
Awesome. Well, guys, it's always great having you on. It was especially great this time, just knowing that you're part of the conversation will get heard loud and clear. And, it's every time that we have you on, it's impactful. Every time we have you on, I feel like we just get closer, and, I'm more affirmed that, we're sporting, just good men. I think that's, so huge. My dad advice would be, iron sharpens iron, seek good counsel, your circle, that's what's going to impact you in the day to day. So, invest in good friends and good men. So on that note, we're the Hard Time Strongman podcast, cheering up a better class of man. Stay in the fight.
Stay in the fight.
That was an unnatural pause you did there. That's going to be really weird
to edit out.
Thanks a lot.
I know. It's going to be great. That's why you always leave it to me.
Every time it's like 3 seconds. It's like, you're here. You knew I was going to say. I say the same thing every time. Every time.
I just like to think you out. Hey everybody, this is 6 and 7 with the Hard Time Strongman podcast, and we are coming to talk to you about our Patreon and Discord.
Hey guys, our patrons get early access to all of our episodes. They get all of our exclusive pre and post shows, all of our spicy takes, all of our rabbit holes that we go on, everything that we want to include in an episode, but we can't because we need to stay on topic. And soon enough, we will be offering digital downloads, guides, everything that we've been working on in the background will soon be available to our patrons. So make sure to check it out.
And come hang out with us on Discord. Speaking of the spicy stuff, this is where we discuss most of it. Once you're there, you'll get access to all of our in-depth discussions, including stuff like homesteading, fieldcraft, medical, camping, communications, shooting. You like ARs? Come talk to us about it. You like 4x4 vehicles and prepping? Come talk to us about it.
You like tannerite, thermite, napalm? Come talk to us about it. All of the campfire talks that would get us kicked off of other platforms, it's right there in our Discord. Come join our community.
We're active on Discord every day. We're interacting with members constantly. We have guys from every walks of life coming to contribute their expertise to all of these various fields and subjects that we've been talking about.
Come join the Discord. Come join the Discord. Join our community. Build up that better class of man. Wanted to take a second to do a mental health check-in and to tell you all about the 988 Crisis Lifeline. So the 988 Lifeline is a national network of local crisis centers that provides free and confidential emotional support to people in suicidal crisis or emotional distress 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the United States. You can reach the Lifeline at 988lifeline.org, or you can call or text 988 to get help, to get someone real on the phone.
Every struggle is different. Every struggle is hard. But you are not alone in whatever you're going through. As someone who has used the 988 crisis line, I fully recommend that if you're feeling any of those feelings of depression, suicide, hopelessness, get in touch with them immediately. They will help you. They will listen to you.
Once again, guys, you can reach the Lifeline at 988lifeline.org, or you can call or text them at 988. As always, guys, stay in the fight.
Stay in the fight.